It's round 22 NRL action from Dairy Farmers Stadium in Townsville. The North Queensland Cowboys at home to the Newcastle Knights. A couple of changes to the Cowboys lineup. George Gaddis is out with a knee injury. Liam McWilliams returns from a broken arm, will wear jumper number 18. While in jumper number 19, Jacob Lilliman will make his first grade debut. The coach is Graham Murray. A couple of positional changes to the Newcastle Knights forced by the withdrawal of Craig Hall. Adam McDougall goes from the centre to the wing. The Gidley brothers, the new centre pairing. Sean Rudder, the new 5'8". The new player on the interchange bench in jumper number 18 is Regan Tanner. The coach is Michael Hagan. Beautiful night in North Queensland. It's been a bit chilly up here of late, getting down to 5 and 7 degrees at night. It's a perfect night for football tonight. A nice breeze to keep the temperatures down as the Knights get us underway. The North Queensland Cowboys defending the northern end of Dairy Farmers Stadium. They come back to the centre through Strickland. 10 metres out from his own goal line. This is Michael Luck. Andy Parsons being told he's offside by the referee. Third tackle over the 20 here for North Queensland. Here's Rauhihi lining up. Parsons running straight at him. Taken to ground also by Sean Rudder. Here's Shepherd inside to Strickland. Up towards the halfway line. The North Queensland Cowboys on tackle number 5. Shepherd with the kick outside the 40. Awkward bounce there for Anthony Quinn. But the chase is very good here from the Cowboys. A very, very straight line. No way through.
Too early. I'm calling hold. Make sure you hold.
First penalty of the night to the Newcastle Knights. Steve Lyons giving them the opportunity early to get down the other end of the field. Over the halfway line. Go Newcastle. Could have been a penalty there as Perry went up to play the ball. Here's Parsons up to the 40. Badiris out of acting half coming left. Looking for a gap early. Strickland in there with Rauhihi, so too Morrison. Here's Johns. Inside Simpson's break. Kennedy's there. He'll score under the post. Well, this time yesterday, Ben Kennedy, they thought he pulled the thigh muscle. Tonight he scores the first try of the game, 4-0 after 2.
And that was very poor work around the ruck by the Cowboys, but excellent play from the Knights. Oh, a little bit of a hobble early in the match for Ben Kennedy. The Knights will be hoping everything's A-OK there, but that was just a simple jersey grab on that occasion from Paul Rauhihi, something that won't be pleasing the locals. The ball simply turned back on the inside from Joey. And just have a look at the support play. First class once again. Great teamwork shown.
Andrew Johns from right in front should have little trouble. He doesn't, and so the Newcastle Knights have had the perfect start, their first use of the football, and they're under the black dot through Ben Kennedy. They could so easily have been without him tonight. 6 points to 0, Newcastle over North Queensland, and worrying signs early for the Cowboys right up the middle of the ruck. And as Andrew Johns was saying, when you get players of Simpson, Parsons, Kennedy, those three in particular who have missed a lot of football this year through injury, returning and getting some game time under their belt, it's a different Newcastle lineup. Josh Perry now. Those three players in particular, Parsons playing game 11, Simpson game 12, and Kennedy game 9 for the season. Here's Parsons. Bad luck. He makes the tackle. Kennedy. See that left thigh heavily strapped. Johns kicking early. Away from Matty Bowen. Singh has it. Oh, he does well and then lost it. May have even been his knee hitting the football, but he did well to get a hand to it. It seemed to be going away from him. Recovered well, and the chase is good from Newcastle. Bowen, an ordinary pass to Ty Williams, who had no chance and has knocked it on. Well, this is a disastrous start from the Cowboys, and that was a poor ball from Matty Bowen. Just run from acting half, Matthew.
Well, I thought before the game they'd throw caution to the wind, but didn't think it'd be quite like this, particularly when most of their forwards are about 10 or 15 metres offside still. This has offered a golden opportunity to the Knights to stretch their lead to 2 converted tries.
Johns, they go right. Here's Gidley, Matthew, looking on the outside for Quinn. Penalty.
Yeah, shoot. Leg pull. Leg pull. No advantage. There it is there.
So Gidley, quick kick for touch. And so the Cowboys under pressure again. Badiris, Johns, Parsons. He's going to settle it down. Can he get the arms free? Johns was waiting, took the tackle. Right in front of the post, 9 metres out. Rudder. Ball to Hughes, bouncing away from tacklers. That's the 10-metre line. Johns, across field, cut out ball. Ty Williams up very quickly on Gidley. He had to as well. Here's Johns, looking for runners, finding Hughes back towards the middle of the ruck. Away from one, Gidley the ball out the back, not played out, says the referee. Now it comes to Quinn. He accelerates and is tackled 5 out from the goal line. Now here's Johns. Cut out ball to Simpson. Simpson then cuts out a couple. In fact, he's cut out everyone. No, McDougall's kept it in play somehow. Kurt Gidley can't get to it, and the Cowboys have come up with possession. Sloppy play there from Newcastle, and the Cowboys survive. They want a penalty for inside the 10, the fans. And it's not coming. Bowen going wide again. Shepherd coming to luck, taken into the tackle. Now he's lost the ball.
The ball travelled that way.
Well, this is very ordinary control of the football going on from the locals. I can't see the crowd sitting in the stand at the moment taking too much more of this. I've got to say I agreed with a little bit of their control. I thought that the Knights were blatantly offside in 2 of the last the rucks.
One off in.
Kurt Gidley almost got through the tackle of Bowman. In fact, he did, but Miles was there to clean it up. This is Abraham. Badiris out of acting half, looking for a gap. Morrison is there with Rahihi. They close it. Here's Johns, turning the ball inside. Perry still going try. Sheer strength over the top of Paul Rahihi, carrying Lee McWilliams, and Josh Perry has scored for the Newcastle Knights. That makes it 10 points to 0, and the danger signs are very ominous for the North Queensland Cowboys. We haven't had 10 yet.
Well, you could almost say it's virtually the same thing has happened. 2 tries in a row. Regulation turn back on the inside from Joey on both occasions, and the ball carrier has beaten Paul Rahihi on both occasions. Simple turn back on the inside. On that occasion, there were 2 defenders. Lee McWilliams was one of them, but also there was Paul Rahihi. This one wasn't a simple jersey grab. It was sheer strength that was involved in it. And that was what was offered by Josh Perry. You could see the determination that was written all over his face. But once again, it was an opportunity that was offered by very poor ball control from North Queensland after just 2 tackles.
They survived initially. Turnover from the Knights, and then they themselves, the Cowboys, lost the football. And so Andrew Johns has an opportunity here to make it 12-0 after 8 minutes. He doesn't miss too many of those, Andrew Johns. So he has 2 from 2. It's now 12 points to 0. We've had just over 8 minutes of play. If things don't improve here for the Cowboys, it's going to be a very long night. It's been all Newcastle to start with. They've had all the possession, 83% of it. They've had all the field position as well, 83% of that. They lead by 12. There's 1 completion so far for North Queensland. Perry will play it, the try scorer. Abraham, that's Strickland who made the tackle. Rahihi there this time.
That's 2, hold, go.
Here's Parsons.
3. Keep coming, here Paul, turn, go.
Kennedy driving forward.
Forward.
Newcastle's last away win was a beauty over Brisbane at Suncorp Stadium 9 games ago. Seems an eternity for Newcastle. Fans Gidley. Kurt with the pass. Was it played at? McDougall has it covered. Referee hasn't said anything yet. Last tackle. Johns. Kicking. Under pressure from McWilliams and Sings underneath it. Now Bowen. Up towards the 30. Great chase here from Newcastle and Matty Bowen losing ground.
Well, it'll be very interesting to see what sort of attack the locals can come up with. This will be an easing penalty, though. I was about to say, well, as he walks him back for a back chat, this will offer some sort of relief. I have to say, it'll be interesting to see what they could have come up with, because all they've been doing for the last few minutes is defending, simply moving backwards. Now they've been given or offered some sort of inspiration via field position. First tackle, they're about 25 metres out, but once again, a mistake has turned over possession.
Trying to get up, you flicked it out the back, mate. He didn't touch the ball. Club in. Cut, mate.
Clash of heads there, causing the problem for Luck to start with, and then he did lose the football, and with that clash, as you can see, his nose the worse for wear. He was lucky to hang on to the football in the first place.
Ball's out.
So Newcastle, another set not completed there by North Queensland. Here's Kennedy. Oh, lifting tackle there from Bowman. The referee yelling out, don't lift. They didn't go past the horizontal. Abraham, nice tackle. Here's Parsons. Good tackle this time over the top. Made by Kevin Campion. Padiris, Rudder. Can't get away from Morrison. Now Johns is going to kick on 5. It's a high one. Matty Bowen positioned under it, nowhere near it. But somehow managed to catch it on the full. Well, fair dinkum, he was nowhere near it there at one stage, wasn't he? Penalty. They get one, the Cowboys.
How did he get his arms? They're not the longest arms in the competition. I thought he was no chance of getting anywhere near it.
Shepherd finding touch.
I'm sure he did well to get that. Well, I've got to really offer a big rap to Newcastle's kick-chasing team. From the very first one of the night, they've offered not much fun for the back three for the Cowboys. I don't think it's going to ease up too much for the rest of the evening.
Here's Rahihi. Popping it out the back to Hannay. Now Shepherd, Campion. Simpson there to make the tackle. Ball's on the ground. They've lost it again, the Cowboys. And Newcastle have come up with it in good field position. Forcing the pass once again. Their completion rate at the moment, 3 from 7. Kennedy. Straight through Rahihi. Arm free, but couldn't quite get the ball away. Bowman was between he and Kurt Gidley. Here's Johns. Rudder and to reach for the football, cutting out Simpson. Now to Matthew Gidley. Try again for the Newcastle Knights. They're on fire. The Cowboys continue to make mistakes and Newcastle continue to make them pay. It's a footballing lesson here from Newcastle, and the North Queensland Cowboys can do nothing. Newcastle 16, North Queensland 0.
Well, it's a footballing lesson, but there's a couple of lessons going on. The Cowboys are teaching themselves one just as much as anything else. On that occasion, it was one of their most experienced players handing it out, Kevin Campion, shifting the ball to the right-hand side. Good options being dealt out there. And simply, they had the numbers to be able to deal with it, but it was very well placed into position. And very poorly handled in defence. Matthew Gidley, he certainly positioned himself perfectly, and if it continues along these lines, this could end up anything via half-time.
Andrew Johns from the far touchline. His toughest kick of the night. They've been their worst enemy, North Queensland. You give Newcastle this many opportunities, any side is going to make them, they're going to have a healthy scoreline racked up against them. There's still only 14 minutes gone. From the far touchline, around 23 metres out. There's a perfect shot of it. Is it going to stay inside? It does. I thought it may have gone across the face, but Andrew Johns pilots another two between the posts, 18-0. And we're not even 15 minutes into the game. It's all Newcastle in Townsville. The Cowboys need to stop the bleeding and stop it fast. Hannay with the restart. Here comes Perry. We spoke about the differential earlier, Wally. Well, at this stage, for and against, the Newcastle Knights could be looking at a very big night. They need it.
They might wipe it out.
Parsons almost straight through. Morrison with the miss. Luck was around the legs. Here's Kennedy. Kennedy's, oh, Rahehe high.
Oh, hey, I've got it. Mate, so that's right. Slipped up. It's careless, all right? We're going to put it on a report as well, all right? Let's get him down, mate.
See Rahehe there looking to the screen in hope. Asking the referee, did it slip up? Well, I think it did. Kept slipping up through thin air more than anything else. Might be making an offer to the judiciary chairman.
What it does do too, Wally, is give Newcastle ideal field position again. They find themselves 25 metres out. John's now 20 metres out. McWilliams with the tackle, but he pops it back to Badiris. He finds Rudder. Here comes Kurt Gidley. Rudder, though, takes the tackle of Morrison, 12 metres out from the goal line. Badiris, they're lining up here. Newcastle. Kennedy taken out of play without the football by Kevin Campion. He's still on the ground, Kennedy. Here they come. Kurt Gidley will score the try. Has he got it down? He has. Advantage played from Steve Lyons, as you heard, and Newcastle are in again. Well, that was just too soft. 22 points to nil. Kurt Gidley this time. It's the Gidley brothers a try apiece, and that was very embarrassing from North Queensland. 22-0. The Knights well and truly on fire.
Yeah, there was a couple of disappointing tries, really starting to have the word soft associated with them, and there's the previous incident associated with it, Kennedy hitting the floor. But the thing that was particularly disappointing with that was Paul Bowman is the man that we've become used to as one of the most experienced players in North Queensland. We've become used to seeing him using some of the hardest defence in the NRL competition. I thought he may have gone forward and tried to hit him front on. Simply appeared to have waited. An indication there that there just is no confidence whatsoever in the Cowboys' defensive line. They're waiting for the Knights to come to them at the moment. Paul Rahehe at the moment has just crossed the line, been replaced.
When you say cross the line, you don't mean scored a try. He's come to the touchline, been replaced. Andrew Johns with the conversion attempt. His fourth attempt in 18 minutes of football. From the other touchline this time, they're even easier. That's straight over the black dot. We're seeing a goal-kicking demonstration from Andrew Johns as well, from one touchline to the other. 24 points to nil, the Newcastle Knights over North Queensland. Well, it's now embarrassing. Anything from here, if they don't lift their game, the Cowboys, other adjectives will have to be used, because this is about as poor as I've seen them play in a long time. Kevin Campion complaining with the referee. His own players need a bit of a rocket. It's Jamin Lowe. Is the man on for Rahehe. He had some sparkle to the Cowboys. Newcastle just doing as they wish with 80% possession. It's not hard to imagine why, but the missed tackle count for North Queensland after just 18 minutes of play is appalling. 13-1.
David, come on, mate. To your left.
Oh, gee, the Cowboys haven't had to make, the Knights haven't had to make too many tackles themselves to miss many. 10 short of halfway, 64-17. And the hit-ups, 43-14. Total domination. The scoreboard says 24-0. That's a rebound. Played out, says the referee. So the Knights can get possession and 6 to go. They do. And they go on the attack again, this time through Matthew Gidley, tackled by Hannay. There's a mistake, a turnover. What can the Cowboys do this time? It was Anthony Quinn who made the error. And so now North Queensland have the ball, their own end of the football field. Jamin Lowe. Swarming Newcastle defence on that occasion. Morrison. Done so much defensive work, they look a little bit tired taking the ball forward. Here's Shepherd. Cutting out Luck, finding Hannay. Can't get away from Gidley and Quinn.
Let him up. 5
short of halfway. Still not over that halfway line yet. Shepherd into Strickland. Can he get over there? He's tackled right on it. Shepherd going to kick from inside his own half. It's away from Hughes. Can he get it before it crosses the touchline? No. Good kick there from the halfback.
I think he was near the halfway, mate. Yeah, I think he was.
He was nowhere near a 40-20, and so it'll be a loosened feed to Newcastle. And give their players an opportunity just to soak up some time and take a few deep breaths before launching another attacking raid.
I'll tell you when it's out.
Look a bit shell-shocked there, the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think that shot tells the whole story at the moment. Exactly sure what's hit them at the moment, and they're just hoping that something is going to change. Some form of luck is going to give them assistance, but the Knights in their current form, I don't think that's going to allow it to happen that way.
Here's another chance. Oh, Rudder was ankle tapped from behind by Campion. Otherwise, he, Gidley and Quinn are on a sortie deep into Cowboy territory. Here goes Parsons throwing himself with the defence. It pops out to Badiris. Now Johns. He turns the ball back to Badiris. He then finds in turn Hughes. Oh, who ducks under one from Jamin Lowe. The referee says play on. Badiris taken out late by Lowe. Johns taken to ground by Morrison. I don't often see Andrew Johns play it on tackle number 5.
You're doing your best to milk it.
Now Badiris with the kick off the leg of Shepherd. He'll have time to regather and turn it inside to Bowen. The Cowboys never having one off the bye. I think 24-0. It'll take a miracle for them to do it tonight. Jamin Lowe. Here's Williams. And a disappointing factors too as Chris Market is on for Daniel Strickland. As they nearly knocked on by McWilliams. Now Bowman can't get on the outside of McDougall. Back to Morrison. Singh on the inside. He's got support in Miles. He runs behind him. He's into open space and Hughes makes the tackle with the assistance of Danny Badiris. Now it's the last here for the North Queensland side. Shepherd with the kick. The chase is coming from Muckett. Hughes is back there. Here comes Ty Williams and nails Hughes in the in-goal area. There's some enterprising play from the North Queensland Cowboys and it gets the crowd on its feet.
Yeah, the first part of the Cowboys play that you could probably describe as being very inspirational, but gee, I thought he did very well there, Hughes. He was involved in a tackle just prior to that, in being able to clean up Singh and being able to deny them the opportunity. There he is there in being able to stop him. So he stopped 2 almost certain tries. That's very good fullback play.
Who just came on then, Eddie? Newcastle replacement?
Steve Lyons asking the name of the Newcastle replacement who's just come on. Referee Eddie Ward, number 14, Matthew Jobson it is, Steve. We'll see him make a tackle very shortly. There's Jamin Lowe. Plays it. This is Luck. Shepherd. A bit of momentum here for the Cowboys. Arm thrown out there by Perry. Referee says play on. Bowen. Luck again. Right in the middle of the field. Here come the Cowboys. Miles. This is Bowman. Can't hear the crowd at the moment because of some rock music being played at the ground for some reason. And here we go with McWilliams with the kick. Hughes has it covered, juggled, and gets it back into the field of play. Gidley. Here's McDougall. It'd be filthy that the centres have scored tries, and he hasn't yet. David Miles being called offside as Matthew Gidley plays it. Here's Kennedy. Last tackle. Johns outside the 40 and finds touch on the 30. So an opportunity to have a breather again for Newcastle. They just seem to have lost their momentum a little bit. And Kennedy down on his haunches in back play. As we mentioned, he suffered a thigh injury here at training yesterday at Dairy Farmers Stadium. Was in real doubt right up until 6:30 tonight. They're struggling to get to this scrum.
A little bit more. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, we're not exactly in Egypt here with the temperature, but I'm sure that as we see the match progress, Joey will give a couple of his teammates a little bit of a rest via a couple of those kicks. Good idea as well, especially with the lead that they have at the moment.
Hannay kicking on the first tackle for Ty Williams and then forcing him into touch, does he? Penalty.
It was tackled and you had a second go.
You might explain to us, Wally, what Josh Hannay was doing there, if you can. I said if you can.
I'm looking for the pass button, actually. Yes, impossible, especially when there's 15 minutes to go before the half time. If there had been probably 60 seconds, I might have been able to answer that one, but very difficult. Not a good idea when you've got players the attacking ability against you to offer them the ball 30 metres out from the line.
Oh, Johns has made an error. It's gone backwards. I don't often see Andrew Johns spill a pass like that. This is Perry. Not luck who made the tackle with Lowe. So in there was Muckett. It's a 20-metre line he plays it upon. Here's Johns. Cut out ball. Gidley. Beautiful ball. McDougall may get his try. He does. What about the ball from Andrew Johns right onto the chest of Kurt Gidley? And Adam McDougall joins the try-scoring list. And that kick from Josh Hannay has been made to pay. 28-0 with a kick to come.
Yes, another try that was offered by a pretty ordinary decision by the Cowboys. But on top of the Johns pass, which was a great ball, magnificent pass, I thought there was a great option play by the Knights. Total confusion in the Cowboys' defence. Just have a look at a couple of the runs back on the inside. I saw Ben Kennedy take a couple of the Cowboys defenders away, and from there didn't appear to be a lot of communication going on in the Cowboys defensive line. And Adam McDougall flying down the touchline. Even the speed of Matty Singh wasn't enough to get across to deny him another four-pointer.
Well, plenty of discussions going on at the moment, but not much action out on the field for the Cowboys.
Well, the forward pack, they've got every right at this stage to turn around to the back line and say, hey, what was that all about? That grubber kick over the other side of the field. We've just managed to get the ball back. We're struggling to get into good field position, and you put a grubber kick along, gave them the ball to offer them another four-pointer down this end of the field.
Here's Johns from touch again. He'll kick this one also. Superb kicking from Andrew Johns. He's kicked his fifth straight, and we're not even at the 30-minute mark, and it's Newcastle 30, North Queensland 0. And this is a hiding for the North Queensland Cowboys, and he just makes it look so easy.
But you've got to say, quite honestly, despite the way that the Knights are playing, they deserve it the way that they're playing at the moment. All they're doing is making mistakes inside their own territory and offering the Knights an opportunity to get down and effectively put these plays on, and they are doing it quite perfectly. Hagan, well, he'd be sitting back smiling at the moment, watching that deficit get smaller and smaller.
There's some solid defence. Matthew Jobson, the man being tackled.
Yeah, good, mate.
This is Rudder. Rudder almost through.
To the left, boys.
Simpson towards the halfway line.
It's here, go.
There's Rahihi getting ready to come back on for North Queensland. Johns with the kick over the head of Bowen, is it? No, he gets under it. There's Ty Williams with him. Dummies. He's flung to ground there by Matthew Gidley. Hannay. Here's Ty Williams. Scooting out of acting half. Danny Badiris there to make the tackle with Matthew Jobson. Lee McWilliams. Danny Badiris called offside, so Lee McWilliams picks up an extra couple of metres. And he'd be glad he came back tonight from a broken arm. Ty Williams right on the halfway line. What about Jacob Lillyman waiting to make his first grade debut? 30-0 down already before he gets on the field. McDougall has the kick covered from Shepherd. Sprayed at Miles, who made the tackle. Morrison assisted. Hughes. Gidley. It's Kurt. Playing in the centres tonight with Craig Hall not injured. This is Abraham. Here to touch the line. Will he stay in only just? Parsons. Singh, Morrison, Shepherd there, but can't stop him offloading. Badiris finding Johns. Kennedy was on his shoulder. And Muskrat with the tackle, and the crowd like seeing Andrew Johns tackle on 5 for the second time tonight. The kick coming from Rudder. Singh has it. Can't get away from McDougall. He went into touch on the first tackle, and he may have hurt his knee.
He couldn't help him, mate. He had to catch him, mate. He didn't have any... Where do you want him to come in for? He had no room to move, mate.
Now we've got the referee. A little bit of criticism from the Cowboys players to Matty Singh about taking the ball across the line. And we've got the referee, Steve Lyons, sticking up for him now, saying he couldn't help it. He was travelling across the line. So good to see he's at least providing some support.
Here's Rudder. This is Kurt Gidley. Miles almost got inside him. That's the 20-metre line. Simpson, Johns. Morrison there for the tackle. Abraham, chance here for Newcastle. McDougall for the corner, stepping inside. The cover comes across this time and wraps him up. Rahihi is there with Muskrat. Danger here for North Queensland. Newcastle on the attack again. Steve Simpson. Bowman with the tackle. Here's Johns. Can he get a try? He does. 5 goals and a try now, and once again, just far too soft from the North Queensland Cowboys. Andrew Johns adds his name to the try scorers list, and it's 34-0, and it's getting worse by the minute for the Cowboys.
Well, you can understand when the big forwards go charging through. They're very difficult to stop, but when halfbacks go through and score tries like that, you really have got to question the Cowboys' defence around the edge of the ruck. That is very, very soft. Hats off to Johns. He picks where there is half a gap, and it was very well timed, the pass off the edge of the ruck, but that really is disgraceful defence from North Queensland.
Disappointing thing about this, Wally, is they've made such big strides this year, the Cowboys. And 2 months ago, they were a chance of making the 8. Tonight, they're just getting thumped. And it's back to the bad old days. The fans deserve better. They've been very patient here in Townsville. Johns.
And he was pretty keen to get the try too, wasn't he? He almost pushed a couple of his teammates out. They were going to bring the ball back to the left-hand side, and Joey was pretty keen to get 4 more points on the point scorers for the year. Timed it very well onto the ball.
And he holds nearly every record in the club, Andrew Johns. Most goals in a match is 9. This is for 6 goals by half-time. And there it is. So he's kicked 6 from 6 by half-time. 36 points to 0 at the break. So that's 16 points personally for Andrew Johns. 34 the record. That was against Canberra at Marathon Stadium in 2001 when Newcastle won 54-26. This is their biggest margin against the Cowboys so far. 32 points was the biggest margin before. Still a long way to go for the Cowboys to get it down under the 32, and also for Newcastle to make it even bigger. Liam McWilliams comes to the bench for North Queensland. Spare a thought for Jacob Lillyman, sitting on the bench, waiting to make his first grade debut. The scoreline is 36 points to 0. As a coach, Wally, what would you do with a youngster making their debut? Would you throw him on in a situation like this, or leave it to the last 5 or 10 minutes and just to give him a run?
Well, this is something that a lot of people question Wayne Bennett, and why didn't he put Matty Bowen on in the State of Origin game in number 2 in Sydney? They said he wasn't quite fair, he should have given him a run, but the Maroons, they were getting flogged in that game, and he thought, well, there wasn't much idea in giving a young bloke a chance in a game where perhaps his confidence was going to get severely bruised in that match. That's the biggest decision you've got to probably make. It's probably a good idea to wait into the second half until the Cowboys try and get their match into gear a little bit better, and then put him onto the field. That's my opinion anyway.
Here's Bowen. He's lost that. Backwards, says the referee. Shepherd. Now Miles. Up quickly was Kurt Gidley. Morrison. Out of acting half. Jamin Lowe. Strong run. Defence is there. Johns is in there. All of his teammates. Jobson and Parsons. Last tackle. Shepherd high in the air. Hughes has to get across. He's got some work to do. He does it well. Well protected though by Anthony Quinn. Tom Williams was bearing down, but Mark Hughes is playing very well tonight. Former New South Wales fullback. This is his 17th game this year for Newcastle. I don't know whether he's the player he was a few years back, Wally, but he's certainly playing well tonight. Kirk Gidley, arms free chance. Quinn, quick hands. Now Matthew Gidley down the far touchline. They're lining up on the inside. The kick and the chase, and it's all Newcastle jumpers. Adam McDougall, the bounce. Can he get the try? No. Bowman is there and holds him up. Only a metre out from the goal line. They must score. They're lining up, pushing each other out of the way. And Matthew Gidley gets the try. It's 40, and it's not half-time. 7th try of the first half to the Newcastle Knights. 40 points to 0. Steve Lyons picks up the ball. He wants a try. Kick to come.
Well, it's first-class attack from Newcastle, and really, you've got to pat them on the back. They're going wide, looking for the holes. The kick inside was very well placed. They showed great desperation. McDougall probably thinks that he's been robbed by a couple of very good chases. Paul Bowman denied the opportunity when the ball was given to Gidley out wide. Once again, he probably thought that it was just reward because he was the man that was charging down only seconds before. He offered the kick back on the inside. Really, this is a very embarrassing scene for the North Queenslanders, who really did start the match quite well. A split head for Kevin Campion. He's got some claret spilling out of it. A lot of people probably think that he's quite lucky.
And that means Jacob Lillyman will make his first grade debut just before half-time. So maybe forced by the injury there to Kevin Campion. The youngster will make his first grade debut with the scoreline. There he is. He'd be pretty nervous at the moment. Good luck to you. Scoreline about to be 42 points to 0. And there it is, another one. 7 goals in the first half to Andrew Johns. 42-0. That's right, the 38th minute as Jacob Lillyman makes his first grade debut with the scoreline 42-0, and we're not even at half-time. Josh Hannay comes back to restart play again. The differential before the game tonight, North Queensland, was 89. Well, they've wiped 42 off that. Where are you going, Wally? You may be right. They could get it back to 0. They're showing us nothing at the moment, the Cowboys, to suggest They're going to be able to stop this onslaught from the Newcastle Knights. The only thing that may stop them is half-time. Johns, they're going wide just before the break, trying to get another one. Matthew Gidley looking for the Gidley flick out the side to Anthony Quinn. He took the tackle. Now Simpson up towards the halfway line. Johns kicking over the head there of Singh. Here comes McDougall. Singh doesn't know. McDougall's knocked it out of his hand. Play on, says the referee, will score the try. Well, Matty Singh wasn't aware that McDougall was there. We're going to check with Eddie Ward.
Well, for you, Eddie, you sat with a touchline there, mate, and no interference or anything like that, mate.
He's maybe just looking to see whether some contact was made with a foot on line. No doubt whatsoever. The former Test winger has picked it up almost a metre infield. Maybe just seeing whether he pushed. No problem whatsoever with that either. No doubt, I don't think, as to whether he was onside. Matty Singh, as you called it, had no idea that he was charging down. Should have heard the footsteps coming down behind him, and this is grossly embarrassing for the Cowboys. The horse has bolted.
And there it is, the try. A double to Adam McDougall, and it's 46-0, and we're not at half-time yet. That is try number 8. And Andrew Johns will try and make it 8 from 8. Here's the kick, and as you see, Matty Singh just has no idea that McDougall's coming. It was like a pantomime. You want the crowd to yell out, behind you, behind you. And then McDougall has just stolen the ball.
Matt Bowen probably had to be about 10, maybe 12 metres away. Surely he could have yelled out. Well, he may have done it. You know, I probably should be quiet until you ask him after the match. But surely, if he had an opportunity to yell out, he would have in situations like that.
This is for 8 from 8. In the first half of football for Johns, it's not coming back enough, though, is it? It is. Just inside. I thought for a moment it was going to hit the upright, but it snuck inside. 48 points to 0 at half-time. 8 converted tries for Newcastle. What an extraordinary scoreline. 48 Newcastle, North Queensland 0. The Knights with first use of the football in the second half. I wonder whether he will have any thoughts whatsoever, Michael Hagan, of taking Andrew Johns from the field. He's been struggling with a groin injury. Got injured last week, getting his Manly. He's out there and they lead 48-0. He's got a couple of club records he's looking at. As Bowen gets the kick from Johns. Good chase here from Newcastle. It has to be when this man is returning the football. He's Singh almost through the other side. Muckett. Here's Shepherd. Now Morrison. Intercept. Kurt Gidley was waiting for it. First possession of the second half, and the Cowboys turn it over before the end. Here's Adam McDougall looking for a hat-trick.
Yeah, they got the line.
This is Rudder. Now Simpson. 20 metres out, 10 in from this grandstand touchline. Matt Gidley, Quinn, spinning away. A few backs yet to score a try. With Mark Hughes not having crossed yet. Johns looking inside, outside. Here's Kennedy will get a double. They've started the second half in the exact same fashion they finished the first. Ben Kennedy scored a try in the second minute of the first half. He's got one in the second of the second. The half century's up.
Well, the old team successful once again. A good run from Johns. Whenever he carts the ball forward, North Queensland should have known exactly who was going to come off his shoulder. One of the best anglers of the football, and they were offered the opportunity through a very poor offload through Glenn Morrison. Very well positioned intercept, but just have a look at the angle he ran inside out through one of the best attacking players in the competition, Ben Kennedy. Yesterday wasn't playing. Today, well, he may only be playing at half speed, but it's simply twice as good as what the Cowboys are able to handle at the moment. I've got to agree with you. I'll be interested to see just how long it is.
Well, there he is, Andrew Johns. He's equalled the club record now for the most goals in a match. That is 9 goals for Andrew Johns, equalling the club record of 9 in a match. As we head down to the touchline for the first time tonight, Sean Lawson, the news gets worse for the North Queensland Cowboys. Good evening to you.
It certainly does. Lee McWilliams only just came back from a broken arm. It looks like he's broken it again. Kevin Campion has at least 20 stitches in his head after getting 2 very deep cuts. It looks like he'll be back. And just a quick one, Graham Murray said it's the most embarrassed he's ever been as a coach in NRL football.
It's not getting any better because the side hasn't started the second half any stronger. 9 goals in a match, Andrew Johns, against the Western Reds in Newcastle in 1995 and against Canberra in Newcastle in 2001. You can add 9 goals against North Queensland in Townsville 2003. And I think we may see 10 before the night's out. This is Kennedy. Badiris out of acting half. Now Rahihi's injured in back play. There's an error from Newcastle. He's up limping slowly.
All right, that's all right. You shorten the 10, you make it after yourself.
There's Rahihi limping back into position.
Yeah, but just stand straight where he is.
And the one thing that might keep Andrew Johns out there, Wally, is the fact that there are all these records. And now we're heading into the realm of not only club records, but game records of most goals in a match, etc. You don't get too many opportunities like this.
No, it'll be a difficult decision from Hagan. Does he put to risk the #1 player in the game to try and chase a couple of records? I think Joey would be pretty keen to try and hunt those records down.
60-0, the biggest win for Newcastle ever against Souths in Newcastle in 1999. So they've got a 54-point margin at the moment. They're breathing down on that. Here's Miles. Ball back on the inside to Lillyman, who's made the mistake.
Had his hand down there in his knee.
That was his first touch of the football. It wasn't a great pass. A steep learning curve here for the former Australian schoolboy.
It certainly wasn't the best pass in the world, offering a great opportunity, but just about every time that we've seen a turnover from the Cowboys, Newcastle have offered the perfect punishment in 6 tackles. We'll see if that happens again.
Biggest defeat ever for the Cowboys as Newcastle try and go wide. 66-4 against Canterbury at Belmore back in 1995. That was their first year in the competition. Here's Parsons. Defence swarming on this occasion. Here's Johns. They've got numbers. Now Matthew Gidley, Anthony Quinn. They're lining up on the inside. Muspratt with a great tackle. He had 3 men on the inside. Anthony Quinn and Shane Muspratt has come up with some great defence to save a certain try. Daniel Abraham there, for some reason, up 54-0. Just decided to go in with a bit of a swinging arm in the tackle. Dirty hasn't got a try. Singh out of acting half towards the halfway line. Still over half an hour left. Matty Bowen. Here's some acceleration, but Badiris with the tackle. Last tackle here for the Cowboys. At least they can complete a set here. Kicking Shepherd. McDougall is not taking too much attention in getting back there, and Hughes has had to put the head down and pick it up under enormous pressure. McDougall was taking his time. I thought he may have been able to help his fullback a bit more. Now Johns into some space. Where's the support? It comes from McDougall again. Now he accelerates. Can they catch him? Hannay is there. Otherwise, it would have been Ty Williams and Bowen chasing Adam McDougall. Now Badiris goes back to Anthony Quinn. William there to make the tackle.
10's here.
Here's Johns. Kurt Gidley. Ty Williams coming in. Johns has hurt him. Back play. He's been hit after he passed the ball. He's in serious trouble here. Andrew Johns. I think that may be the cue to take him from the field for Michael Hagan. He is slumped to the ground in back play. Rudder. Now, Kurt Gidley. Anthony Quinn is trying to get back Andrew Johns. And he's coming back. Here's Badiris. Now, the ball on the ground. McDougall keeps it in the field of play. Last tackle. He puts the kick in. Those players are in front of him. So Badiris with the chase. Gets Bowen. Now does he take Johns off? He's struggling with that neck shoulder problem that he got against Manly last week. Here's Hannay. Now it goes to Ty Williams. Williams down the touchline. Kennedy won't be able to get him. He won't have the pace. He's away from Kennedy. He's got Muckett on the inside. Lines up Muckett. Here comes Hughes. He won't get him. And the Cowboys have scored a length of the field try. Chris Muckett scores and the Cowboys are on the board. 54-4.
Finally, some celebration for the dairy farmers. But I've got to say that there was some very good cover defence coming up for Newcastle as well. Just have a look at Ben Kennedy, a long ball. Offered some hope for the Cowboys. Ben Kennedy putting in a great chase. A classic dive. But I also thought that Hughes was going to be some chance of being able to run him down. In the end, he just gave up. He's provided a couple of really classic cover defensive tackles from a fullback tonight. But this is one of the speediest wingers in the competition, Williams. And I just don't think that there was real desperation shown from the Knights on this one. And when you're leading 54-0, you could probably say, well, fellas, you've got the right to do that.
He's about to make some changes, Michael Hagan, as Chris Muckett comes back after scoring the try. Hannay. Right in front, should have little trouble. We're about to see Regan Tanner and also Todd Lowry come on tonight. And there's the 2 points from Hannay. So 54 points to 6. Newcastle over North Queensland. And the 2 interchanges have been made. Just trying to see who's coming off. Andrew Johns staying out there at the moment. At the back of play as Abraham gets us underway. That may have been the opportunity for Hagan to make the change. He's kept Andrew Johns on the field. Steve Simpson and Sean Rudder. And there's a mistake. Went backwards, says the referee from Rahihi. And Lowry penalised. Flop.
He come down. He was tackled. You want to come down and slow it down?
There's the man coming in over the top, Todd Lowry. Quick tap taken here. Now Morrison. The Newcastle Knights waiting for the kick for touch. They pick up some metres. Shepherd inside to Jamin Lowe. Shepherd. Now Muckett. Fell as he came to the tackle. And Lowry once again. Rahihi. This is Shepherd. Jamin Lowe back to Shepherd. Now Morrison under pressure from Kurt Gidley. Can't get the pass away. Still plenty of interchanges up the sleeve for both coaches. Now Shepherd. Miles kicking left foot. Nice bounce there for Quinn. Hughes. There's a gap there. Morrison and Jamin Lowe close it. This is Johns. Gidley. Kurt. Heavily tackled. Bowman involved. So too David Miles. Here's McDougall. Slowish play the ball. Now Johns turning inside to Regan Tanner. This is Hughes. Tackle number 5. Johns is on the right. It comes to him. Kennedy's there with him. The kick goes back across field. Bowen, can he get there? They all watch it bounce. It's on the ground. Who wants it? Singh's got it. Now he's away. Badiris is chasing. Mark Hughes to beat. That's all that's there. Here comes Andrew Johns. Badiris gets him from behind after he was slowed down by Hughes. Halfway line, he plays it. Here's Shepherd. Great pick up around the ankles. He goes back towards the play of the ball. Then back to Morrison. Matty Singh's in trouble in back play after he was smashed there by Badiris. He's hurt his hand. It looks like he's son of the trainer. Here's Rauhihi taken there by Kennedy. He's lost the ball. Penalty. Matty Singh coming straight from the field for the North Queensland Cowboys, so it gets worse for them. Kevin Campion about to come back on with 20 stitches in his head.
They're having some difficulty in making the decision what to do. I know they weren't going to kick the goal.
Inside the 20-metre area. Here can't knock on. Daniel Strickland, the man.
Probably just flip that and roll out to the side.
There's Matty Singh straight up the tunnel. The treatment looked like a left-hand injury. Campion not coming on yet. Not sure they sent anyone on then, the Cowboys. Michael Luck slipped on. 3 on the bench. Rudder back for Newcastle. Abraham hitting a solid tackle. Morrison with the tackle. Still 26 minutes of play remaining. It's 54 points to 6. 10 short of halfway, the Newcastle side. Here's another break. Abraham, ball to Kurt Gidley. He's got Adam McDougall there. It must be a hat-trick for Adam McDougall. There it is. He's scored 3 now, and it's 58 points to 6. They're lining up again. Another length of the field job from the Newcastle Knights, and it was all too easy, and Adam McDougall scores himself a 3rd. 58 points to 6. Coming into the game tonight, he'd only scored 4 for the season. He's now got 7.
And it was very well read once again from the base of the ruck, but poor defence on the blind side from the Cowboys, and there will be some questions asked from their coach if they're going there to have a little bit of a rest. And Luck on that occasion, Michael Luck missed a tackle which could be described as fairly comfortable. It was worked fairly well.
This is for 10.
No, he hasn't.
There's the new club record, 10 goals in a match for Andrew Johns. He's kicked 10 from 10. It's 60 points to 6. Newcastle over North Queensland, and we still have 23.5 minutes of play remaining until full time. Here's Hannay getting a kick. So Kevin Campion, he should be back shortly. Head swathed in bandages. Abraham. This is Parsons. Can't remember seeing a possession rate of 70-30 so deep into a game, Wally. But nearly an hour of the game, and it's still 70-30. This is Todd Lowry.
No, they're simply not controlling the football. Whenever they get it, though, the Cowboys.
Here's Johns with a little kick. Kennedy chasing as well. He wants a hat-trick. Gets the bounce, does well. Links back up with Badiris. Has Matt Gidley there. The ball's been knocked down by the Cowboys, then kicked out on the full for some reason by Matty Bowen.
Change over, no advantage there.
He's ruled a knock-on against North Queensland. So that was fortunate.
He could have picked it up. Could have. No advantage, eh?
So he's ruled the ball went forward from Newcastle. No advantage for the Cowboys. This is Luck. Here's Campion. 5 metres short of the halfway line. Perry testing, seeing whether those stitches are in there strongly enough. Now the ball from Musprat to Bowman. On the outside, it goes to Miles, who plays it right on the halfway line. Some news downstairs shortly on Matty Singh on the last tackle here for North Queensland. It comes to Shepherd. Little kick or big kick. It's towards the corner. Bouncing. Ty Williams there on Quinn. Good chase. Can't wrap him up. He gets back in the field of play somehow. Well, the chase was very good. They couldn't keep him in the in-goal area. Let's go downstairs to find out the latest on Matt Singh. Sean Lawson, before we do that, here's a chance for Newcastle. McDougall down the touchline. Has Miles got the pace? He does. A good tackle. Can he wrap him up? Referee says play on. They're just short of the halfway line. Very slow play the ball here from McDougall. Stopping the momentum. Kurt Gidley. Johns. Not the best of passes. Nice bounce for Matt Gidley, though. The kick. Here's the chase from Matt Gidley and Quinn. Bowen is back there. Will pick it up on his own goal line. Gidley is there making the tackle just in the field of play. Now we can head downstairs to Sean Lawson, who has some news on the injury to Matt Singh.
Yes, it goes from bad to worse for North Queensland. Matty Singh has dislocated his finger. He's gone back to the rooms. They're trying to get it back in, and hopefully he will return to the field.
Just a disastrous night for the North Queensland Cowboys. Matt Singh now with the dislocated finger. Michael Luck busted his nose earlier. Chris Muckett's got an ice pack on his face at the moment. Lee McWilliams, the broken arm again. First game back from a broken arm. Kevin Campion, 20 stitches and a head cut. And it's 60 points to 6. Hughes. Tackle there from Campion on the 30-metre line. Another opportunity, though, for Newcastle. They're looking for more points. Andrew Johns coming from the field for Newcastle. That's it for the night for Joey. He's off. 10 from 10 tonight. Michael Hagan has made the decision to take him from the field. Leading by 54 points. And Ben Kennedy comes with him. So two of the big guns have come from the field for Newcastle. Matthew Kennedy taking the ball up at the moment. And there's Ben Kennedy there. Matt Parsons is there also. And Josh Perry. So there's some footballing talent on the bench. Here's the kick. Bowen under it, takes it on the full. And then offloads to Ty Williams. Didn't give him much to play with there. And Quinn nearly drags him into touch.
That's all right. That's all right.
Hannay. Over the 20. So it looks like the club record will stay at 10 goals in a match for Andrew Johns. 10 from 10 he's kicked tonight, plus a try, 24 points for Andrew Johns. Jamin Lowe.
Let's go, Daniel. Yeah.
This is Campion. Just before the halfway line. Here's the kick from Shepherd. Bouncing up nicely for Hughes. Good chase there from the Cowboys. Straight line. No way through for the Newcastle fullback. He's hurt, I think, though. Here it is. Just a clash of heads on a couple of occasions with a few players.
I'll get someone else to play the ball. Do you want to get some tape and wrap him up a bit, mate? Just hold. That's one.
So how will Newcastle go in this final 18 minutes without Andrew Johns, without Ben Kennedy? He's receiving treatment for that thigh injury on the touchline as well. This is an interesting final 18 minutes for them. Simpson, on due. Makes a difference when they're leading by 54. Kurt Gidley to his brother, Matthew.
It does take a little bit of the pressure away, doesn't it?
Just a tad. Here's Gidley kicking straight to Ty Williams. Passes to Bowen. Throws an ordinary pass to David Miles. He's such a danger with the football, Matty Bowen, but he does tend to pass a lot in those situations, and they haven't been great ones on occasions. Bowman. Hit by McDougall. Just before the halfway line. Here's Shepherd. Across field, looking to link with someone, but had no one to link it with. No one wanting to take the ball forward. Halfway line, just in front of him. Strickland. Here's Musprat kicking on the last. Hughes is back there, has it covered. There's a few Cowboys defenders in front of him. Quinn, away from Strickland. Not from Lillyman, though. He makes the tackle, 10 metres out from the line. Newcastle leading by 54 points as Tanner plays it. Jobson. This is Badiris down the short side again to Rudder. 10 metres short of the halfway line. Last tackle. Now the kick from Kurt Gidley inside his 40, but straight down the middle of the field. Now Matty Bowen with the return. Wanting his winger to go inside, but staying out was Ty Williams. He then finds Hannay. He's easy meat for the defence. 15.5 minutes of play remain at Dairy Farmers Stadium. Luck playing it back to Bowen. This is Shepherd. Now Lillyman. 9 short of the halfway line. Cowboys into the field. Shepherd. That ball's a mile forward to Miles from Musprat.
I was waiting for him to stop himself. No, I knew her. Unlucky, mate.
Unlucky, says Steve Lyons.
Well, I think that's gone
He's deliberately offside.
probably close to 4 metres forward.
He just ran under it. Save last one. Take it. Over you go, guys.
I think even Pinocchio would claim that one.
Hold there. No ball, boys. Take it easy. Glenn, bind, mate. I'll tell you when the ball's out.
I think it's a very good move from Hagan, though, to take a couple of his trump cards away. Because as they go into the tougher matches towards semi-final time, they're going to need.
Here's Abraham into open space, turning the ball back inside to Josh Hannay rather than Sean Rudder. And so another opportunity for Newcastle goes begging.
I was going to say it's a situation, as the Broncos have found out, once you take out the big name players, everybody else has got to be able to perform just in case injuries take your big name players away. If something happens to him, or as we've seen, if Ben Kennedy, injuries have taken him out of the side once or twice before.
Matty Bowen trying to find some openings. Here's champion Luck right on the 20-metre line. Musprat having to wait for the football. Now Shepherd with the kick. The chase. McDougall has it covered. It was an awkward bounce. He can't get it back into the field to play, so it'll be a goal line dropout. So the Cowboys will get a repeat set. Could be their first repeat set of the night.
I know they're all off, but give me at least one name.
Well, it was a very well-placed kick, but they seem to have everything covered very well the night so far. The experience.
Just tell me you're off, mate. Just tell me that you're not coming. No, come on.
McDougall had that very well covered. Positioned perfectly. Wasn't interested in gambling. Simply went down on top of the ball.
Nelly finding touch. The Cowboys looking at it. Miles coming through and just saving it from going over the touchline. Musprat looking for somebody else, but Jamin Lowe ending up with it. This is Campion. Now Jamin Lowe. Ball out the back to Matty Bowen. Here's some danger for Newcastle. Bowen light on the feet. Well, that's a very good try from Matty Bowen, or is he held up?
Play with that. Eddie? Grounding, mate. I got an opinion. Well, I'm sure you'll have something.
He's light on his feet, but Mark Hughes is confident that he's held him up.
Yeah, he was claiming success in the battle of the fullbacks there, but it was excellent footwork to be able to put him into a situation like that. He did get his hands in a situation. Oh, gee, it's difficult to tell there, isn't it? But, gee, he got himself into a magnificent position originally to be able to try to deny him. A great ball back on the inside from Kevin Campion. Another good offload by Lowe. And just have a look at the footwork there, off the right, off the left. And it'd almost be a vote to say give him 4 points. 54 points behind. As the ball touched the grass on the way through, the hand, you can just see that he's got the claw underneath the ball, but as it rolled over, the referee claiming that he has an opinion.
Yeah, all right.
Which way will he go? There's a try to Matty Bowen. He believes he got some part of the football down in the in-goal area, and it's 60 points to 10. Newcastle over North Queensland with a kick to come.
Well, a very good transfer of the ball. 2 good offloads on that occasion. One of the rare times that they've managed to control the football in dangerous situations. Gidley beaten by a classic sidestep. And, you know, I don't think either camp would have been all that grumpy had the decision gone the other way. That was magnificent defence by the Knights fullback there. Gee, he got himself into fantastic position there to be able to wrap himself around.
I know, 1 from 1 tonight. Can he make it 2 from 2? He's 20 metres in from the far touchline, about 18 metres back. And adds a further 2 for the North Queensland Cowboys, but it's still an embarrassing scoreline. Newcastle 60. The North Queensland Cowboys 12, and the news gets worse for the Cowboys as we head downstairs to Sean Lawson.
Yes, Matty Singh, they thought his finger was dislocated. Unfortunately now they've discovered it is broken. They discovered some splintered bone in his finger, so it looks like his season is over as of tonight.
As Lee McWilliams is there too with his arm, I believe, broken again. 20 stitches and a head cut for Kevin Campion. So it's been a horror night for the Cowboys, who next week take on the Raiders down in Canberra. Oh, there's an ordinary ball. Paul Rahihi trying to go wide.
2 knock-ons there.
Putting pressure on Chris Shepherd. Couldn't get any worse, surely. Had no chance there, Shepherd. Anthony Quinn thought he had a gift try coming up.
72 points in a game of footy. It's starting to look like a rugby union game at the moment.
Yes, but there's been plenty of tries.
Right, that's right.
Oh, there's another mistake. Both teams just guilty of a lack of concentration here as Miles plays it. They certainly have lost an edge, the Newcastle Knights, and it's very hard to maintain that. Rahihi. Strickland. Tackle made there by Lowry. He bounced away and comes again. Matthew Jobson in there. Matty Parsons, who's coming back for another spell. Here's Shepherd. Now Morrison. Last tackle here for North Queensland. Here's Bowen with a little kick. Here comes Ty Williams. They've let it bounce, and Ty Williams gets a perfect bounce, and they're in again, the Cowboys. Well, they just looked at each other.
There's a push in the back there. Head. That's what I'm checking, mate, all right?
I think the ball was already on the floor when there was contact made. Anyway, I'll leave that decision to the video referee. There have been some push. He can make the decision there. But Michael Hagan would probably question the desperation of the players. He probably would say, fellas, in situations like that, I'd like to try and ensure that you take the football on the full, and perhaps a dive would have ensured that.
But he's awarded a try. He's obviously thought that the little nudge had no impact, and so Ty Williams gets his 7th try of the season, and the Cowboys get another 60 points to 16. And this is starting to affect a healthy lead for Newcastle on their points for and against.
Yeah, and that's the main point. And of course, it came about by some very poor or poorly controlled possession at the other end of the field. And it was a very cleverly placed chip kick by Matt Bowen. But I still think that the Knights had an opportunity to be able to take the football on the full.
We've seen a tremendous night of goal kicking from both of the goal kickers. 13 from 13, 10 from 10 from Andrew Johns, 3 from 3 for Josh Hannay. It's now 60 points to 18. Nothing else to cheer about with Matty Singer, compound fracture of the finger. Lyman Williams re-breaking his arm. Kevin Campion out there with 20 stitches in his head. Chris Muckett on the bench is injured as well. He hasn't played much of the game. And an ice pack on the head. He did the first try for North Queensland. Damon Lowe about to come back for the Cowboys. There's Campion. 7 minutes of play remain. Can the Cowboys go in again? 10 short of the halfway line. Hannay will play. Ordinary pass from Bowen. Ball picked up by Shepherd. He finds Rahihi.
Come on. Good. Hold. Go.
Here's Shepherd. Kicking. Muspratt slightly in front, I thought. The referee says no. Here's Hughes hitting a solid tackle by Lilliman. Here's McDougall.
It's all right. We've got to come back somewhere.
He's already got a hat-trick.
That's it, Paul.
So he'll be looking for further points tonight to try and equal the club record he holds with Andrew Johns and Darren Albert of 4 tries in a game. Here's the Newcastle run home. The Warriors at home next week. The Raiders away, the Dragons away, and then they play the Cowboys again at home in a couple of weeks. Here's Rudder with the kick. Across field. Miles under it. He takes it well. I think he thought he was in the air, David Miles. The referee says he was on the ground when he was tackled.
Josh, you're off! Josh, you're off!
Lilliman, Josh Perry being told he was offside. Morrison wrapping around the blind side. Rudder with the tackle.
Get up, hands off, Greg, off!
Here's Muspratt. Now Luck into some space. Had Hannay on his outside, couldn't get the pass away. Hannay and Ty Williams are unmarked. Here's Rahihi on the last. Little chip kick. Ty Williams ran straight into Gidley, who dropped the shoulder, and the touch judges come on. Well, Ty Williams from mine ran straight at Matt Gidley. And Rod Lawrence has come on straight away. Matt Gidley doesn't have to get out of his way.
How do you want, mate? Mate, let's just see what he's got to say, mate.
Put a shoulder in after the kick, took him out.
All right.
All
right. Hey?
I don't have to move to
No, you don't have to move. All right, but he said that you have moved and you've put a shoulder in. Where's the mark, Rod?
He's run straight into it, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he's milked that fairly well.
And luckily, it's not going to do much damage to the game itself, but if it gives the Cowboys an opportunity to score more points, it will hurt the for and against for Newcastle. Andy Parsons firing up there on Jamin Lowe. Oh, Shepherd did well to hang on to it. Now Muspratt turning the ball inside. Here's Morrison through a tackle. Hughes, the last line of defence, did well until Troops came to assist. A couple of metres out from the goal line. Bowen. Now Rahihi. Can he get his arms free? He's over the line. Has he got it down on the line? I think he has.
Eddie, can you just have a look there, mate, if he got on the line all in the one movement, mate?
There may be a secondary motion there.
I'll tell you now, Eddie, he finishes on the line, mate, anyway, put it that way. That's where the ball finishes.
But there was certainly some determination from that angle. Tends to give a different description.
Poor Rahihi's keen because he hasn't scored a try yet this year.
Oh, I just heard one of the Newcastle say at 60-18, give him a few.
They do. They may not be so generous if it costs them 8th position on for and against. 60-22, Rahihi gets the try. It was 60 points to 6 when Andrew Johns went from the field. And so they've scored 16 points since then.
Yeah, I tell you what, he got through a couple of their better defenders, Danny Badiris included, and he is one of the competition's better and stronger defenders. Josh Perry as well, so that may be a little bit of a get back.
As I was saying, 60 points to 6 when Andrew Johns left. It'll now be 60 points to 24. Only just. That's all it has to do. 60 points to 24, so it's been 18 unanswered points for the North Queensland Cowboys since Andrew Johns and Ben Kennedy have left. And Newcastle's defence, once again, they're averaging just over 23 points a game against Wally. They conceded 24 again tonight. That doesn't win too many premierships. Muspratt.
3, roll, man. Hold, go.
This is Shepherd. Now Miles. Away from one, not away from the second. Badiris. Bringing him to ground. Here's Bowen, dummying. Away. Now Hannay, support on the inside in Miles. Can he get it there? No. Back to Ty Williams. He accelerates Hughes with a try save when he's lost the ball. And so two of the Knights, it'll be a knock on both ways.
Knock it off him first.
But there's some concerning signs.
I said he knocked it on. And so did the touch judge. That's all right.
Yeah, they almost could have scored again. Just have a look at they turn as they went back on the inside. A bit more communication. They probably could have got to it. You just saw Josh Hannay.
I got one. Let's go.
He'd have stayed straight down the line. It would have been just a simple offload from Williams. But you mentioned it, there are concerning signs. Once they lose their big three, as it seems to be the problem with most teams in the NRL at the moment, problem signs appear.
And Newcastle inside the final 90 seconds. They led 48-0 at half-time. And it's 24-12 in the second half to the Cowboys.
Hold it, Kevin. Hold, mate. Hold. Hold. Go. 3, roll from him. 10's here. Keep going.
Here's Parsons. Rahihi with a tackle.
4, behind the line. Michael, hold, mate. Hold.
There's plenty of feeling he's just dropped that, looking for the penalty.
Hey, mate,
Parsons.
nobody stripped the ball from you. What was he doing? You're rolling all over him, mate. Trying to do cartwheels on him. Come on, let's pack it, boys.
Yeah, well,
they were all over him, but he did try and milk it.
Yeah.
You watch, I think he just throws the ball away here.
Pack it. No, stay packed, stay packed. Wait on. Hold it, don't put it in, don't blame time. Get your head in, Danny. Last scrum, mate, come on, get it in. They've been good all day. Let him up. I haven't blamed time on, boys. Come on, last one. Let's get it right. Let's go. Go.
They go the blind side. Here's the kick from Bowman. Miles is chasing, gets the bounce, does he? Was he tackled without the football? Referee says play on. Hughes returns it. Then he turns it inside to McDougall, who's looking for 4. He's got Bowen to beat. The cover comes across, but Bowen doesn't need them. Inside the final 10 seconds, can the Knights finish with a try? Badiris taken by Rahihi. Back to McDougall. Well, Morrison is a mile offside.
No, he's not on. He was never on.
Glenn Morrison knows it too.
Danny. No, Danny. Danny. Oh, that's enough. Let's go.
It's for and against, Steve. It could be very important for them.
You know he wasn't. He was still back a tackle. Yeah. Matty,
What are they going to do here? Last tackle of the game. Kurt Gidley. Now it comes on the outside to Lowry. He's lost the ball. What will the Cowboys do? Luck throws it away. And Bowen kicks it off the upright. Will it go to the dead ball line? It does now. What an extraordinary finish. Full time here at Dairy Farmers Stadium.
Is that the end of the game, Matty?
Yes, it is, Steve. Thank you very much. Newcastle 60 have defeated North Queensland 24. Let's head downstairs. Sean Lawson has Andrew Johns.
Andrew, 60-24 certainly doesn't hurt you for and against, but you're actually a bit angry there at the end with letting in those easy tries.
Yeah, mate, I suppose we just get jacking people bagging our defence, and I suppose there's a reason for that. And we just, the intensity went out of the game and it showed. We let a few tries in, but yeah, mate, I think we're all sick of getting critics, bagging our defence, but we don't help ourselves really.
Obviously, no one to bag your kicking tonight. 10 out of 10. You know it's a new record.
Yeah, mate, it's all the practice I've been doing. But mate, I don't know, just got the rhythm right and hit the ball nice. So yeah, it's a nice way to hit 10 out of 10.
As you say, a few from wide out to most actually from wide out.
Yeah, mate, I'd say by about 3 in the morning I'll be even further out. But no, yeah, as I said, got the rhythm going, hit them nice. So just got to keep going. I got to run now, see if I can get 30 in a row.
Okay, just quickly, the neck and the groin, they're both okay?
Yeah, the groin feels all right. The neck's a bit dusty, mate. Just a couple more weeks and then I'll be right. So just keep battling on.
Well done tonight, mate. Congratulations.
See you, mate.
So there is Andrew Johns, the full-time score. Newcastle 60, North Queensland 24, the fourth highest scoring game ever, 84 points, equaling that record. Muckett, Bowen, Williams, Rahihi tries for North Queensland. Hannay 4 from 4 for Newcastle. McDougall a hat-trick. Matt Gidley 2, Ben Kennedy 2, Perry, Kurt Gidley, Johns tries, and Johns kicked 10 from 10. So 14 from 14 tonight from the goal kickers. 48-0 at half-time, and it was a comprehensive victory of 60-24 at full-time for the Newcastle Knights. Still to come on Super Saturday, we head to Leichhardt Oval. It's the West Tigers taking on the South Sydney Rabbitohs in Game 3 of Super Saturday in round 2 of the NRL Telstra Premiership. A comfortable, comprehensive victory for the Newcastle Knights and their fans that have travelled to Newcastle will go away from Dairy Farmers Stadium very happy after seeing a comprehensive victory, and there they are seeing themselves on the big screen. Good on you for coming this far to support your team. So full time here at Dairy Farmers Stadium. Newcastle 60 has defeated the North Queensland Cowboys 24. On behalf of Waddy Lewis, Sean Lawson and the crew, I'm Mark Braybrook. It's good night from Townsville.
This has been a Fox Sports production for the National Rugby League Partnership. This program proudly brought to you by 4X Gold. Harvey Norman, there's a store near you. And the Extreme Nissan X-Trail.